Oh, Jesus Christ. There's literally plants growing in the back of it. Hi guys, and a massive welcome back to the channel. So the aim of the game with this channel is to try and buy cars with the amount of money we can withdraw from a cash machine. And I've got an interesting one today. I'm just on my way to go look at a car, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to go over budget because I've got a real weakness for Porsche 944s. I don't know what it is. I don't think I've ever gone to look at one and not walked away with it. So I'm going to go look at this one. It's been basically in a hedge for around 20 years. I think I rang the bloke and he said it came into the garage for some brakes about 20 years ago. He can't remember whether they had the brakes done or he gave him a quote for the brakes, but either way, the car never got picked up and it got left there. So the car's been left down the back of this workshop for about 20 years. Here's a photo of where they found the car, where they decided to drag it out from. And that's where the car's been sitting for about 20 years. Unfortunately, in the pictures of it now, it's actually been dragged out from that location. It's been dragged all the way down the side and it's now sitting about 50 meters away. But yeah, I'm going to go look at it. I've already agreed a price, I'm not going to lie. So we're pretty much just going to pick it up, and I've paid way too much for it. You'll find out at the end, I've gone over budget quite a bit. I know I shouldn't have, but something about these cars, every time I see one, I've got to have it. And it's a real weakness of mine, and I really shouldn't do it. But let's head over there now, get the trailer on the truck, and pick it up. Oh. Looks better now it's raining.
Aye.
It looks better now it's raining. Okay, so we're back. It looks a lot better in the rain than it did this morning when I looked at it. Couple problems with this car. We'll get it off in a second. I think the front wheels are now turning. Back wheels aren't. I'm not sure if it's in drive or neutral. It looks like it's in drive, or I don't know. We'll look at that. It is automatic. That is the biggest problem with this car. Minus the rust, minus everything. These auto 944s, they aren't great. I've had one before and it never drove very well. But other than the rust on this sill, I haven't seen any more rust. There's quite a lot down here. The whole sill up to about, I think, yeah, up to about here needs replacing. They're back. The doors currently don't shut, so I've got them strapped shut. I think the whole time it's been sitting, this is going to be a bad shot. You ready? The whole time it's been sitting, the roof has been basically off. So, yes. It's pretty rough inside. The seats actually don't look that bad, considering they've got some splits in them. But yeah, let's... I haven't opened the boot. I haven't opened anything, to be fair. I haven't even looked at it. Yeah, let's get it off the trailer and see how bad this is. See if we can free up the rear wheels. Chuck a battery on it. See if it starts. Actually, we should check the timing belt first. But under here, it looks all complete under here. So I'm thinking it should. We'll check the belts, but it should run. I think. Hope so. Right, this is about an hour later. It's completely dry. Usually I do like to try and get my projects running before I take them off the trailer, because it makes them easier to get off, obviously, because I'm here on my own. I'm not sure this one's gonna gonna start. It's been sitting a very long time. Don't think I've ever got one of these where these struts haven't gone. Right, so just managed to free up the lock on this because it was seized. This should. And I think these actually are gonna hold it. Yeah, this one now works, but this side doesn't seem to. This side seems to be just completely open. Opens better than closed, so everything else, there's a nice little pair of snips there, whatever they call those. I think that's the aerial. What we got down here? Some hardener. That's all swollen. I've never seen that before. A battery in the boot. But then again, I've only ever had the early versions of these. This is a bit later, I think. I'm not sure what the year is. Yeah, let's see if we can get some air in any of these tires before we try and take it off. These ones might be okay. This one, definitely not. That's why there's a spare wheel in the back, actually. Is there? There should be under here. Oh, damn, it's one of those bloody space-saving ones. And probably won't work. They never go up. It's not even worth trying. Once they've been sitting for 20 years, they don't really like to work. All right, let me just see if I've got a wheel that might fit. I've probably got one knocking about. All right, so this one is actually pumping up 0.6 bar, but I think it's going up. All right, 1.3 bar. Let's not get greedy. I think that's a miracle it's taking any at all. Let's try this back one over here. I think this one's taking some air too. We're on 0.5. Slowly going up. Yeah, 0.6. So this one's actually taking air. These two are taking air. That's enough of that as well. So those two, all right. These two on this side won't take, well, obviously that one won't take anything. It's got a big hole in it. This one won't take anything either. Not sure what to do about this. I think 2 out of 4 is better than none out of 4. So we're gonna have to go with it. These things are incredible, by the way. I'll put a link in the description to this. It's so useful. With the tires pumped up, this door can now actually open. It gets past the wing of the trailer. Jesus Christ. There's literally plants growing in the back of it. I don't think this roof's been on very well. It is pretty rough, but it is the later dashboard, the oval dash instead of the square, which looks to be in pretty good condition. Seats don't look terrible, but I bet it's rot under here. The water's been getting in, so I bet it's all rotten. I wonder how the fuse box is. Let's see if this opens. I mean, it opens, but there's nothing in there. God. Let's I want to see how many miles are on this really badly. I wonder if I can get in there and turn the key. I can't get the other door open because the tyres won't go up. So it looks like the mileage is 92,000 miles. Can't quite see because the sun's glaring. Yeah, 92,000. It's not too bad. It's not great. Okay, so I've just had to jack up the back of the car because I couldn't open the door with this here, this wheel arch. I couldn't tell whether the handbrake was on because I couldn't open the door enough to tell. It is well and truly off by the looks of things. So this is our interior. I just need to check if it's in neutral. It is pretty filthy in here. We'll get some good shots of how bad it is. So I think it is in neutral. Let's park. Reverse. Neutral. Drive. Ooh, that doesn't feel good. Somewhere around there is neutral. Let's not spend too much time in there because it's pretty horrendous. I've just cracked off the wheel. So these aren't turning at all. So I'm going to just whip this one off. See if I can break it free. And see if I've got another wheel with this lug pattern. Because these two won't inflate this side.
If I do, that would be great. There is a spare, but they're pretty useless on these. They're sort of these space-saving, run-flat, weird-looking spare things, and they never really inflate. I might try it, but I think once you've inflated them, you can never deflate them, so I'm trying to avoid it. There might be one in my Porsche, actually. There might be one under the bonnet of my abandoned Boxster. If you haven't seen this and you're new to the channel, I picked this up. It was abandoned in a field for 12 years. And yeah, it runs and drives perfectly now. It's a bit of a mess, and it's been pretty butchered, but I quite enjoy taking it to Porsche shows. See if we got a... This has got a little spare in it. This is a... I wonder if that's the same lug pattern. It could be, it could be. We'll get that out and see if that is. Okay, so the 944 is off the trailer, relatively pain-free. We did have to tow it the last bit of the way with the Boxster. I probably should have just done that from the beginning, but it does roll fairly freely now. We've got all the wheels freed off. So the next step in the operation is to try and get it down to the workshop. In order to do that, I don't really want to tow it, and I don't really want to push it. So I want to see if we can get it started. And to do that, on a car that's been sitting for this long, we need to check a few things before we go any further. We need to check the cam belt. These have a cam belt, not a timing chain. So they do go bad, and they do go brittle, and they do snap. So let's check it. If it's any good, we'll see if it turns over by hand. And then doing that, we need to check that the water pump hasn't seized, because that's also run by the cam belt, and that can seize up if they've been sitting for a long time. We need to see if we've got fuel, which I very much doubt it. If we do have fuel, we need to replace the fuel. Need to see if we've got oil. I'll check. These are easy things to check. We check we've got oil. We need to check we've got transmission fluid, which we probably do, because I haven't seen any massive leaks around the back anywhere. And we need to just put a battery on it and see what comes to life, because these cars can suffer from massive electrical issues. So it might not even do anything when you put the key in the ignition. So I think the first thing I want to do is check out that cam belt and see what's going on there. I've got to say, underneath this engine bay, this looks extremely complete. Cover on the fuse box over there. I haven't actually had one of these with the fuse box being there. It's normally in the car. But yeah, it's got a few badges and stickers and things all over it, but it looks very complete. First thing we need to check is the cam belt. So you've got this belt down here. We've got a balance belt, we've got an alternator belt, and we've got a power steering belt. Balance belt, alternator belt, power steering belt, and in here, somewhere in there, here is the cam belt. Let's just get in there with the camera. see what that looks like. See if I can turn that. Let's see, that looks pretty good to me. Doesn't look like it's cracked anywhere. See if we can get in there with the camera. It's focusing on the cobwebs, not on the belt. There we go. I think that looks okay. So the next thing I want to do is get a spanner on this big pulley down here. Oh, I don't know what size bolt it's going to be, but get a spanner on that and see if we can turn it over by hand. Then if we can, we chuck a battery on and see what comes to life. Also going to have to fight through all of these cobwebs to get my hands down in there. Okay, you can just about see in there. Maybe I'll get rid of these cobwebs, you might see a bit more. Okay, so you can just about see in there. The key one we want to turn, all of them is what we want to turn, but the one that we need to see turning is this one, because this is the water pump here. Pretty sure I've got the ratchet on there. I think it's on. I haven't really got great grip on it actually. I wonder if we can get a better grip. Doesn't seem like it wants to turn. Something sounds very crunchy. The alternator, I think, is seized. Looks like everything is turning. It's got compression because I can feel it coming up to compress. Yeah, it definitely got compression. And it should go loose again. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure it turns over. Haven't done a full rotation, but I think it will turn. Let's get a battery. The battery's got to be dead, right? Nothing happens when I turn the key, so let's chuck a battery in and see what happens.
A few moments later.
Right, so I've been trying to turn this on for a while, and I've had no luck. I've ended up taking the whole dash out, everything. Nothing was coming on. I've even taken every wire out of the back of the fuse box. This is the fuse box. As you can see, the connections aren't good in here. I've got a close-up image of it. Unplugged everything, checking continuity. Finally found out I don't have continuity between the ignition switch and this, because if you look down here, this is the, I've got wires, jumping wires. This is the back of the ignition. Someone has cut the wires. These are my two main wires that go to the, this goes to the starter motor. This one goes to turn the ignition on. Someone has cut them and really badly spliced in an immobilizer. So all I've got to do now is try and remove all this stuff and put them back in where they were supposed to go originally, which I think the wires are still up there. So hopefully I can rejoin it all back together, and this should, in theory, start or do something at least, because at the moment nothing's coming on the dash at all. Okay, so all the wires are back together. Everything should be soldered together. I've just got to put some heat shrinks around everything. It should work. I haven't tested this yet, so this is the first time I'm turning this. I need to put all of this back together, but yeah, so if I turn, I haven't got keys on me. So if I use my Toyota key here, if I turn this, this should turn the ignition on. There we go. So that all lights up now. Got a brake fluid warning, oil level warning. But everything has come to life. Let's see what happens if we turn it one stage further. I wonder if I can put the phone anywhere here. I'm going to turn it one stage further to see what happens. It turns over. Very slowly. Just check it's got some oil in it before we turn it over anymore. Yeah, it's got fuel. It's got oil, but there's lots of it, and it smells very, very much like fuel. Which means either someone's been trying to start this thing and had no luck, and the fuel's just been passing the rings, or Engine's toast. It should be alright. Let's add some fuel, because I'm not sure there's any fuel in it. We're going to turn it over and see if any fuel comes out of this line here. We'll take that off. And if any fuel comes out of there, then we should be good to try and start it. Okay, so fuel came out of there. Right, let's see if this fires up. I doubt it will, but... This is why you should always check your airbox before you try and start the car. Oh my god. I've just tried to start this, so that stuff is going to be all throughout the engine. Oh no. Luckily it didn't fire off, but we might be able to save it. Okay, so it's very close to starting. It's sort of missing. I put some brake cleaner in and it did run for a second, so we know it's a fueling issue. These fuel injectors are just like little solenoids in here, and they do tend to seize up when they've been sitting for so long. But unfortunately, it's so hot right now. Doesn't look it, but it's so hot right now that all my cameras keep overheating. My phone camera and my camera around the back keep overheating. So I'll film as much of this as I can, but hopefully it should fire up very soon. Running. Something isn't happy. Something's really unhappy. Okay, so the car has now gone from up there to down here. I did manage to get reverse out of it, but then I think the gear linkage snapped, so it was stuck in reverse. Couldn't go anywhere else. I managed to get neutral by hitting the linkage so we could tow it. Luckily, Tony and his tractor towed it all the way down here. Now, a couple issues. We've got no brakes whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. So I'm not really sure what's going on there because there's brake fluid in the reservoir and I can't see any visible leaks anywhere. The gear linkage really needs sorted. Obviously I need to put all of this back together as well. I've got a new switch coming because that one is just hanging on. It's about to fall apart, so I've got a new switch coming, so that's why I haven't put any of this back yet, because you think you've got to have all of that out to get the new switch in. Okay, so I've just managed to bodge the linkage back together again. See if I can get in here. I'm not sure if I can actually. So I think it's in park, or there's one more. That's park maybe. Then we got reverse, neutral, should have drive. That's all I really care about. I don't really care about the other two. So let's see. Let's start this up. So we should have reverse. Yeah. Neutral. And nothing's coming up on here. Neutral. Yeah. We should have drive. Hey. Hey. We're moving. Alright. That noise is getting really bad. Sounds like it's right underneath me. It's gotta be the flywheel. Alright. That's all I care about. As long as that works, we can test drive this. But we've got to find out what that noise is, because it's not very happy. Okay, so the Porsche moves under its own power. I can't believe it. I've literally moved it about that much forward and backwards. But I'm actually amazed from where we started that this thing can actually move under its own steam. It is making a hell of a racket. Like, I don't know if you could hear it on the video as well as I could hear it in real life, but it is so loud. It's something behind this engine where the flywheel is, something in the bell housing. I think it's probably something to do with the flywheel. I know they're a bit dubious on these cars. I think it could be that. So we're going to have to get the car right up in the air, get the starter motor out, see if we can look at the flywheel. We've got loads of new bits to go in here as well, new barrel and stuff. Get all of this back together, and then we can clean up this interior. Also got 4 new tyres that I'm just about to pick up, so we can actually move this thing about. But I think I'm going to save all this work for the next video. We're going to get underneath it, try and figure out what the hell is going on. I could already had a bit of a sort of pick at this corner, and as you can see, it's sort of crumbled away. It looks bad from here, but I think it could actually be saved. We need to figure out whether the noise coming from the bell housing is terminal, because that is really quite a crucial thing. If it's something really like camshaft related, I don't think we're going to bother. But if it is just the flywheel, I might be able to put a new one in. But yes, we're going to save that for the next video, get it up in the air, find out what's wrong, see if this thing is worth saving, and if it is, maybe we'll have a little test drive in it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.